Hey, 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 welcome to the Soul Sisters.
Hey y'all, hey.
It is Robin and
Tiffany.
Tiffany. Yeah, and today we're just going to have a brief conversation with you guys about what you surround yourself with, to be mindful and, open your eyes and look around. Look at things. Sometimes be quiet. Just look. To make sure you understand what's there. Are you being supported or are you just being surrounded?
Yeah, there are such things as vampires, those energy stealers, so you really need to know the purpose in people's lives. We like to know purposes and places for everything else. It's important that people and relationships have a purpose and a place.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, no?
So yeah, are you being surrounded? Are you being supported? Um, I don't know. I guess we have to talk about what friendship looks like. We talked earlier about love being painful, and that's
That's
love
not
doesn't
true.
have to hurt.
No.
Like that's not a requirement. It's actually the complete opposite. So yeah, being surrounded and being supported is so. I feel like people who surround you, they're distracting. They're taking your energy away. They're like space holders for those who should come and surround you. Everybody's circle isn't huge. Everybody doesn't have a huge circle of friends, but everybody should have their own support system. Everybody should have their own village. I think we talked about that a few times. You should
Yeah,
create your
village
own
is
village.
another one that needs to be talked about.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, and sometimes you have to even check yourself on what type of space that you also take up with people. Are you being supportive in the relationship of whatever this is? Are you just there and surrounded? I don't know. I just know that my group of friends, and one day you'll meet them. We try to encourage each other and lift each other up. Like, we want each other to win.
Always. Always.
So I don't know. I know that everybody has their own perception of what things look like. Like win to me might look different, to you. And I guess it's really the things that you're winning in. Everything that you dabble in, you shouldn't even be winning. You shouldn't even be there. But that's a whole nother conversation. But again, I like to check myself. You know what I'm saying? Because if I stay ready, I don't got to get ready. And that's just I whatever I put out, I expect for it to come back. So I always try to check myself in a relationship of even am I going too far with what I say or whatever to people, because I just again I want people to win. And I think everybody has their own win in their own time, but I try to check myself to see what part I'm playing in people's life, because I don't necessarily want to be there. Feel like everything has a purpose. So if we're just here and two bumps on a log, that ain't what I want to do. I'm already half of 50. I want to do something productive, that'll bring something. Whether it's nothing, it doesn't always have to be money. It could be uh, wealthy knowledge,
Yeah. I just feel like it's hard in this day and age to build relationships because people aren't honest. They're not honest with themselves. They're not honest with their friends. And people don't want to give. They're all about taking, whether it's your energy, your time, your money, but they're not willing to invest. If you can't pick up the phone and call your friend and say, "Hey, I'm ready to jump off the cliff," and they don't come running, you can't pick up the phone and call your friend and be like, "Hey, I ain't got no gas in my car." Whether your friend has money or not, if they have gas, they come make sure you get where you gotta go. I mean, it's friendship. That's what we're talking about, building your own village, your own support system. Everybody needs somebody. But you have to be friendly before somebody can be your friend. And you have to be honest.
Yeah. I think a lot of times too, when people feel like if they need somebody in that area, that makes them less than. You know?
No. We all need somebody at
Yeah,
some point.
we do.
And some of us need somebody more than others. Oh dang, here I am again.
But again, it's another part of being honest. If you're there just to take up space because or just surround, you know what I'm saying? Then
Yeah, vampire.
That could be why you're getting, you know, what you're getting, and things don't always work out. But I don't know if everybody is there for the same reasons. You know what I'm saying? And every friend could be a little different, you know, but still for the same reason of us in this circle to win.
'Cause we should all win, especially when we're supporting each other and nobody's just taking.
Right.
But again, I believe we all have our seasons that we take.
Right.
And it's neat. I think we all have seasons where I don't necessarily know that we take, but I think we all have seasons where we need to be given
supported,
supported or poured into, and that's just as important as, you know what I'm saying, somebody being there for you.
Right.
That they're strong enough that when you're weak, everybody can't be weak at the same time.
No.
You know, one friend can't always be the strong friend. So, and that's where that support comes in. It's a balancing act. You know, you develop relationships, you have conversations, you develop trust and respect. That's how you build relationships. That's how you decide when someone's a support. But what do you do when you've had someone in your life for years and they've never been a support? You love them. They've never been a support. I don't think they have the capability of being a support. So I think we talked about that too. The capacity that people have. People only have what they have.
Right. And I think that when that happens, you that's where the boundaries come in. Of this friend right here, because again, I'm not gonna let you just suck me dry. You know, I'm setting boundaries of, okay, I've listened to you, because I do understand that everybody needs one of those. You know, but I'm not again gonna let you do it at the detriment of me. You know what I'm saying? Detriment of me. Yeah, I'm not. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is. So, I think friendships are important. Support is important.
Villages are important.
Villages are important.
Yeah. So we may be all over the place with this. Just let's talk, but it still always seems to go right back to the what are you surrounded with?
Yeah.
You know, of it should make you look, and we're just here because again, we've been young,
and
you know, and we've been dumb.
Oh, we've been dumb.
We've been naive. We've been foolish. You
I've
know,
even been stupid a time or two. Like, I literally knew what was going to happen, knew it was wrong, and did it anyway.
Yeah.
You know, so.
But I do know that on the right side of the right side, there is peace. But you gotta first change the way you think about things. Like, one is that you can control your anger and your emotions and your feelings, and those things are temporary. You know, like
feelings change.
Yeah.
Feelings. What people don't understand is feelings aren't facts. They're valid, but they are not facts. Facts don't change. Feelings change. So when I talk to people and I say feelings aren't facts, I'm like, well, they could be. They can't. You could be happy, sad. Think about a situation that was really, really horrible. Say it was the worst situation of your life. Old situation, not the most recent situation, right? So you think back 5 years ago to the worst thing that could have possibly happened. Like, 5 years later, your feelings about that have changed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whether at that moment you were hurt and devastated, and then at this moment you're like, oh, I learned a lot from that. Oh, that was good for me. That's why I say feelings aren't facts.
And see, but that's the part that a lot of people don't get to. The part that you can understand that 5 years ago I didn't feel that way. And I had talked in a conversation with one of my other friends and another young lady. And the young lady was talking about the things that her fiance was doing now that she didn't like and she wasn't going to put up with. And, you know, like, of why would you be doing this? And so I explained to her that has it always been this way? Well, yeah. Well, do you see how where okay, you're not necessarily because she felt like she was being made a fool of, and it's like no, you know what I'm saying? Because or like you're a nagger, you're a that okay. I said, but then it didn't affect you the way it does now. You know what I'm saying? I said, and instead of looking at it in because if I could remember the whole conversation, I'd be able to tell you. But I know it. To make a long story short, she felt some kind of way that she didn't look at what was happening and that her not liking it now, that was a sign of growth. And I'm like, instead of it, you looking at it like you're insecure or it was something along that line. Why you can't look at it like that was growth? Because if he's always done this and you didn't necessarily care back then, because it was do us too, but now it's like no, that's growth, and you can't be upset about that. I said, but what you need to do is go back that way to him and say, hey, then this is why I didn't care, but now I see things different. I'm older. My children are getting older. I'm elevating, and I need you to come with me, see this, or I'm gonna have to leave you behind.
And it's just that simple. It is. But here's the thing: we've already talked about.
And it doesn't have to be again, Usher, and we good. And we ain't good, but we still good.
That's how I'm saying. I think sometimes they get so caught up in the emotion and the tit for tat. It's fine to say you don't like something anymore.
Right.
People who genuinely love you, they'll adapt. I don't wanna be in a relationship, friendship, parentship, husbandship, pet ownership that doesn't change.
Right.
Nobody wants the same thing all day, every day.
Right.
Nobody wants that. So you should expect things to change. You should be changing.
Yeah. And I think it's the small things that people don't look at, that one little small thing that change, but it affects a whole lot when you actually look at it, when you actually change to be like, oh, no. And I don't know. We need to help each other grow. I sometimes believe us, and I don't want to sound like I'm blaming everything on a woman, because that's not my case, but a lot of times we help them to fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like, my ex-husband had, I know, at least 2 girlfriends, or, messed with. So if I had left the first time, we wouldn't have got to 2. And if everybody would be like, no, it's either this or that's it, and stand on it.
They can't. They can't. Everybody's not built that way.
I know. And it's like,
and it's sad because once you reach the place where, I don't want to say, the F word. Once you reach that place where nobody else's opinion really matters but yours, you want people to think nice things about you, but not to your detriment. Like, I'm not going to go out of my way to perform something I'm not so that you can think nice of me. I think that's freeing. But, I lost my train of thought. It just left me.
it happens like that.
That's 50 for you.
Yeah, 50 years old. But we just want to be on here talking about some things that may even come to other people's mind, because we want to know your opinion too. Matter of fact, if you like, comment,
share,
and share. Because again, we just want to have a let's talk. We want to know what y'all want to talk about. If you want our opinions, because I'm not going to tell you what sign we are, but they say that we think we know everything.
We told them. Mm-hmm. In the very beginning, we told them we was 2 Virgos.
Maybe so.
Well, if not, now you know.
But anyway, we don't believe that we know everything, but
Well, we do know what we know.
We do.
I don't know everything, but I do know what I know. That's all I'm saying.
I've been some places I would have rather not have gone, but because I've gone, I still feel like that it helped me to be better. I just feel like everything happens for a reason.
It does, and it normally comes full circle. Sometimes you be like, oh, dang. So that's why that happened, so I can get to here. If you ever sit down and just kind of look at it, I think people don't like to visit their past. You know what I'm saying?
Are they fuck mess ups?
They don't like to visit them. But I think once you get to a place that you
But
can
that's
see
the shadow work. That's the shadow work. Sit down with yourself.
Yeah. And just get it done. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't saying go and revisit every crack and crevice of your life, but there are some places that you're going to have to visit just so that you can move forward in a healthy life. Because some things you can't release until you revisit. I'm not saying go, you know what I'm saying, if the older person died and I'm not telling you to dig them up, but I am saying you need to make some peace with some things that happen.
Right.
So you can move forward, so you're not angry and you're not
forgive.
Yeah. And forgive yourself. Sometimes that's the hardest person to forgive. You've forgiven everybody else. You have to forgive yourself for the things that you allowed.
Yeah.
And if this is what we're talking about, childhood shit, you didn't allow that. You was a
You're
kid.
a child.
You couldn't give
but
permission.
How dare you allow it to mess up your adult life when you now have the voice to say, hey, let me tell you.
Mm-hmm. You get to choose.
How dare you?
And you get to choose.
Yeah, so fix it. Forgive yourself.
Yeah.
Go back and tell that 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old you, whatever age you are.
Yep. And it's really hard to tell somebody, you know, to do it if you haven't done it, and I've done it. So that's why I can tell you to do it. You have to be at a stage where you want to talk to that little girl. You want to feel those feelings. You want to experience that moment. You know, I wouldn't recommend inviting others to join you, but you may, you know, you think you're going to go too far. But yeah, and then you realize, of course there was coercion. You know, you deal with that because a lot of times people blame themselves anyway for anything bad that happened to them.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's our choices. Sometimes it's the choices of others that affect us. And at 50, I'm not really interested in other people's choices affecting my life.
No.
Just not.
And I'm not even interested in what went there. I just want to be right here and understand that this is nothing. I could go further than this.
Right.
No matter what stood that was in my way back there. And I've been through some trauma, and I'm not. All I think of is that when I was 8, I had no voice. I'm 50. And I'm going to sing loud and proud. And that's it. If I say no, it's no. Whatever. Again, we need to check ourselves and check the people that are around us.
Yeah. You know, you and support looks different. You know, support isn't always, like we said earlier, it's not always money. Sometimes it's time. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just
a lending ear.
Yeah.
My kids need a ride to the store or to school. I need a ride to the grocery store.
Yeah. Right.
Anything.
Yeah.
You get your check, I need some chicken. Whatever your support look like.
Wow. I need somewhere to live. Like it's that deep. You can't do that with everybody because we understand every relationship is different, but you should have a relationship where you feel supported outside of your family.
Yes.
You just should. It's just important to do that.
And it's also important to support, especially the people that you understand that are in your circle that are bringing support.
Yeah. It should be reciprocated.
Yes.
And I know everybody can't support like everybody. You know, everybody doesn't have the same desire. Everybody's not the same.
It's almost like at church where it's you pay your tithes, and how if it's money, you know what I'm saying. If it's your work in the church or whatever, it's really the same.
It's the same thing. You always put something. It's an investment, and I think that's what people miss out on: investing in themselves, because investing in a good support system is an investment in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Spending time, being reciprocal to people who are loving and kind to you. That's an investment in that you can withdraw from. That's a deposit that at some point you may need to pull from. But a lot of times people want to pull from empty places. You haven't deposited anything in here.
Right.
You don't have, you've done nothing to support me.
You are
keep
in
pulling.
overdraft.
Yeah. I have nothing else for you. And that's a sad place to be. It's a sad place for you to be for someone you love. It's a sad place for them to be.
And you don't have to cut them off all the way. Like I said, that's again where you set a boundary. No,
Yeah.
no. We're not going to the club, and you always come empty-handed, and you make it a habit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no. And nobody should go anywhere, bro. I don't care if you ain't got nothing but $10, $20 in your pocket, something enough to catch an Uber
You should have enough money to get home.
in case something happens.
You should always have enough money to get home. You ain't got enough money to get nowhere else. You ought to be to get home.
Home. So, again, we won't hold you long. We just stopped through because,
Cause
hey, girl, hey.
are you being surrounded or supported? That's all we want to know. Let
That's
us
it.
know. Look at your friendships. Look at your relationships.
Let us know how you're supported.
Yeah.
What your support look like.
Yeah.
Let us know if you've checked your surroundings to see what surrounds you.
Yeah.
All right. Again, another one from the Soul Sisters.
Soul sister, soul sister. Hey, soul sister.